Good morning, good morning, good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis. Good morning, Leeward Islands. Good morning to the OECS. Good morning to the Caribbean. Hey, while we're at it, we might as well say good morning to the entire universe. How are you doing this morning, St. Kitts Nevis, and all the listeners to WinFM 98.9? Yes, you have got the correct dial. You haven't got the wrong frequency. This is 98.9 WinFM broadcasting from Unit C24 Sands Complex in Bastille, St. Kitts, in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And yes, you are listening to Island Tea. You're tuned in to Island Tea. And you're hearing a strange voice. Yes, indeed. I am Troy Biff Mills. I am holding it down for the man, quintessential one, Quint, who is off on some holidays. I spoke to him yesterday. I spoke to Quint yesterday. And boy, Quint sounding like he about 23, 24, 25 again, full of energy and vigor. So those few days for him so far, it is working. Let me put it that way. It is working. And he really said he had some work to do around the house. And you know, when you're on holidays, you're supposed to be resting and relaxing and rejuvenating, but most times you find a lot of things to do. And Quint, he is enjoying it, and I suspect some coconut water and maybe cane juice, I don't know. He said he'll be going to his farm subsequently, and I hope he's really enjoying it. Today is Thursday, 5th March. Wow. I am not going to say anything about March flying away like at supersonic speed. I'm not going to say that at all. And we're just going to be bubbling. What do we have lined up for you today? Oh, I'm in by my lonesome self. My co-host, Hortensia, she has not been in yesterday and she will not be in today again. She will be back out tomorrow. So those of you who really tune in just to see and hear Hortensia, just hold straight. Today we'll go by poof, and she will be back out tomorrow. And before we get cracking, let me just read this notice from National Caribbean Insurance. It's a reminder. The general public is asked to know that National Caribbean Insurance will close at 1 p.m. on Thursday, 5th March. That is today. National Caribbean Insurance would like to apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. During this closure, customers are encouraged to use their website at www.ncicltd.com to pay premiums, submit health claim forms, request quotes, or for any other general inquiries. Regular office hours will resume at 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, March 6th, 2026. And of course, Friday, March 6th is tomorrow. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And this comes from National Caribbean Insurance. And you know, we here at WinFM, we always keep you informed, let you know what is happening locally, regionally, and internationally. And well, you would have had rain in your neck of the woods for the past few days. And we had some in Sandy Point, SP with the best bit this morning. It wasn't as heavy as yesterday, actually, but rain nonetheless. And it has been raining for the past few days. And for those of you who are wondering, maybe I should drop the weather bulletin on you. And it was issued 7 a.m. Thursday, 5th March 2026. The present weather, we have it cloudy skies with showers in the vicinity. The winds are moderate breeze of 19 miles per hour from the east. And where's the east? The east is up in Bastille, Newtown Way. So just a little bit of geography lesson. And I'm not going to charge you for that. It's free. The temperatures, we have 25 degrees centigrade or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. A little on the cool side. Humidity 82%, sea level pressure 1016.8 millibars or 30.02 inches. Sunrise tomorrow 6:26. Well, I should say the sunset today is 6:18 p.m. and the sunrise tomorrow morning, God's speed, is at 6:26. And remember, we are now getting into the longer days, the longest day in the year being June 22nd, I think it is, yes. And the shortest day in the year that, no, I got, yes, December 22nd, I think, is the shortest day in the year. So obviously, once you get to the longest, there's only one way you're going to go, down towards the shortest. And once you hit the shortest, there's only one way you're going to go, up to the longest. And the weather forecast valid until 8 a.m. tomorrow. Winds east at 9 to 21 miles per hour with possible gusts to 32 miles per hour. The seas 1.2 to 2.1 meters or 4 to 7 feet with swells up to 1.8 meters or 6 feet. A high surf advisory also remains in effect. The weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. What do we have? Partly cloudy to cloudy with a 60% or a moderate chance of showers. The weather tonight, for those of you who like it a little chilly or cool or whatever the case is, partly cloudy to cloudy with a 60% or a moderate chance of showers. Eastern Caribbean forecast. Across the Eastern Caribbean, as shallow low-level patches continue to move across the sea on a moderate to brisk wind flow, we can expect partly cloudy to sometimes cloudy skies with a moderate chance of showers from Puerto Rico southwards to Trinidad and Tobago. And this comes from the Met Office at the RLB International Airport, the St. Kitts Meteorological Services. And thank you very much, Met Office, as we say for short, for keeping the nation up to date. And we really appreciate this. And I know particularly the fishermen, they will be very much interested. Sometimes when it's a little choppy, they don't go out. So we may not have the amount of fish we would want. But hey, fishermen, be safe. And I think as part of their licensing process, they have to have life jackets, they have to have walkie-talkies, radios, I believe, they have to have flare guns and all those things in case we have anything happening. Now, what are we going to talk today on Island T? Boy, a lot of things happening around the place. We still have the war in Iran. We have the war in Ukraine. We have the Venezuela situation. We have the Cuba situation. So things are in the Caribbean a little further away as we go further and further. And, well, please forgive me. I'm traditionally, I was going to say a sportsman, but I dabble a little bit with sports. I did not make the island team. I played some cricket and some football and volleyball for SP with the best be Sandy Point. I represented Sims and things, so I think that qualifies me to be qualified as a sportsman. Don't you think? I don't know. And whoa, we have some callers, but callers, could you hold a second? Give me a few minutes. Let me go through the routine, because what we're going to do, we're going to drop some clips, and we're hoping that the discussions be centered around the clips today, sharing your views, positive, different, whatever, and your view is your view. We ask you to be respectful of the views or opinions, whatever you want to call them, of others. You may not agree with Peter's view. Peter may not agree with your view. However, it is his opinion, it is her opinion, and we have to respect it. We may not agree, we may not see it so. Peter or Mary may not be able to convince us to change our minds to their view, but it's still their view, and we have to be respectful. Choice of language, of course. Stay away from the expletives and whatever. And we have been doing an excellent job so far for the year, but let's keep it like that, please. And I'm going to try something a little different, a little new today. Like I said, I'm going to run the clips, and I'm hoping that the calls are centered around said clips. Share your view, what you think should happen, if it is a good thing. And listening to the news this morning, again, the U.S. bombing and saying these are drug cartels and they're pushing drugs, transporting drugs. But no evidence seems to be coming forward. If you call, say as an example, you call somebody a thief, but you would have to, I believe, prove why he or she is a thief. They took up A, B, C, when they took it up, where they took it up, etc. But I just can't get up and call you, hey, you're a thief, and I don't have any proof. So that is something, the question is what is happening. But something very interesting. Before I get to that, in terms of the sports, the ICC World Cup, which is the big thing happening in men's cricket at the moment internationally, they're down to the semi-final stage. New Zealand knocked out South Africa yesterday. Persons were expecting to see perhaps a South Africa, India in the World Cup T20 finals. Remember, that was the finals last year when South Africa was winning and nothing could have stopped South Africa from winning. But then the wicketkeeper for India, I think it was, he said he was injured, so the game actually came to a halt. Not even slowed down, came to a halt. He was so injured, they had to spend a few minutes treating him. But miraculously, miraculously, everything was okay. And he got up and he went about. And India eventually won the game. And India, they're in the semifinals. They are playing England today. England had a sort of rocky start, but they have been getting better as time goes on. And there are just 2 games left. The second semi-final today, where England is playing India. The match is being played in India. And tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday, God speed, there will be the final between New Zealand and the winner of today's match. But West Indies female, you will recall they hosted Sri Lanka in a 3-match one-day international or ODI series. And that was down in Grenada. And they also hosted a T20 series, a 3-match T20 series. Sri Lanka won the first 2 ODIs, and the ODIs one-day international. That is the 50-over version, one of the white ball cricket, as it is referred. Sri Lanka won the first game, Sri Lanka won the second game, and when they won the second game, they won the 3-match series 2-0. However, the Windies came back, and the Windies won the third match, a consolation match. So, therefore, Sri Lanka won the series 2-1. It was a different kettle of fish in the T20 series. The first match, rain saved West Indies. That's to put it bluntly. And this has nothing to do with who I support or who you support. That is a fact. West Indies, the match was reduced to 18 overs. West Indies went into bat. They made 49 from their 18 overs. However, Sri Lanka had to make 50 to win, and there was 7 without loss after 2.5 overs, I think it is, when the heavens opened again. And that was the end of that. Let Ben's story end, and that match was a no result. The second match, Sri Lanka won it. The third and final match, Sri Lanka won it. So Sri Lanka won the 3-match T20 series 2-0. But there were 3 significant things in there. 1, Deandra Dutton, she chalked up 150 caps for West Indies in ODIs, one-day international. Put another way, she played for West Indies 150 times in international one-day international ODI matches. That's 1, 2. And she went into retirement sometime last year, and she came back out. There was basically a public outcry. Everybody trying to convince her, hey, we need you. And she came back out. She listened and she came back out. And she has been doing fairly comsy according to some people. Hayley Matthews, the captain, she also chalked up a milestone, 100 ODI internationals. And both of them were recognized. They were given shirts that said 150 and 100 respectively. Afy Fletcher, she achieved a milestone as well. She chalked up 100 T20 internationals. Well, I should say, DeAndre and Haley, they chalked up those milestones in the first ODI. And they played the ODI series first. When that finished, they went to the T20s. And in the first T20, Afy Fletcher of Grenada, she chalked up 100 T20 internationals for the West Indies. And perhaps it was deliberate, it was set out so when West Indies were discussing with Sri Lanka, they were aware of that. I'm thinking, of course, I'm not privy to the discussions. And they decided, hey, Afy's going to have this milestone. Let us have it in Grenada so she could reach there. And the Grenadian government, they did something. I really like what they did. And guess what? I am not going to tell you what they did. We are going to hear what they did. And you might ask yourself, how come it wasn't done for Haley and also for Deandra? But let us go to this clip and hear what this.
The West Indies unforgettable 2016 International Cricket Council Women's T20 of Talent. For one of Grenada. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, members of the cricket fraternity, family, friends, and cricket lovers across Grenada, the Caribbean, and the rest of the world. Today we gather to honor a remarkable milestone in the career of one of Grenada's finest sports ambassadors, Afy Samantha Charlene Fletcher, as she celebrates her 100th T20 cricket match for West Indies women. Born in Lafayette, St. Andrew, Afy's journey from neighborhood cricket grounds in Grenada to the world's biggest stages is a story of talent, perseverance, and unwavering belief. Afy Fletcher is not only a premier right-arm leg bowler, but a trailblazer, one of the few elite leg spinners in the Caribbean cricket history. From her historic ODI debut in 2008, where she claimed 4 for 22 against Ireland, to her pivotal role in the West Indies' unforgettable 2016 International Cricket Council Women's T20 World Cup triumph. Afy has consistently delivered when it mattered most. Her return to international cricket after years away from the game stands as a powerful testament to resilience, determination, and faith in one's purpose. As the great Sir Garfield Sobers once said, cricket is a game that owes much of its unique appeal to the fact that it should be played not only within its laws, but within the spirit of the game. Afy Fletcher embodies that spirit, competing fiercely, representing her nation with pride, and inspiring generations of young girls to believe that greatness can come from anywhere, including a small village of Lafayette in Grenada. Today we celebrate 100 matches. We also celebrate a legacy built on courage, commitment, and an enduring love for the game of cricket that brings the Caribbean people together. Make some noise for Afy Fletcher. Hi to Mr. Dwayne Gill, Cricket Development Officer for Cricket West Indies.
Thank you very much. Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Minister of Sport, President of the GCA, distinguished guests, teammates, fans. I bring greetings on behalf of the President of Cricket West Indies, the board, management, staff, and players across the region. Notwithstanding the result today, it is a historic day when we celebrate Afy's 100th T20 international match. In fact, she has played 192 international matches for the West Indies, 100 T20s and 92 ODIs. That is more than Juna Murray. It is more than Roy Lewis. and it is more than Devon Smith. She is now the most capped international cricketer, male or female, from Grenada. Her journey reflects resilience and growth from a young leg spinner mastering the demanding art of wrist spin to balancing international cricket with motherhood while remaining at the top of her game.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me just move forward with protocol already established.
This is now Afy Fletcher speaking.
Standing here today, reaching the milestone of 100 T20 internationals feels truly surreal. When I first started bowling in the nets in my village of Laflet, I never imagined that my journey would take me across the globe and back home to celebrate such a moment. To celebrate such a moment in front of the people who raised me. I want to extend my deepest thanks to the government of Grenada and the Prime Minister. Thank you for your continued belief in my career and for the incredible honor you have bestowed upon me today. Your support makes it possible for athletes like me to represent our flag with pride. The Ministry of Sports and Grenada Cricket Association, thank you for providing the foundation that allow a young girl from Laflet to dream big. My family and friends, you have been my rock. You have been my rock through the years. This award belongs to you as much as to me. To all the coaches from young grooming me up to all now, whilst I'm still playing, thank you for being there for me and passing on your knowledge also. The fans, to hear the cheers of a home crowd as I reach this century of matches is a memory I will carry forever. There is no energy quite like the West Indian spirit. Playing for the West Indies women cricket team is a privilege, but playing for Grenada is my soul. I hope this milestone serves as a reminder to every young girl that with patience, discipline, and a little bit of leg spin, no boundaries is too far to reach. Thank you.
No boundary is too far to reach. Thank you so much, Afy Fletcher, and congratulations.
The big thing is really coming up now.
Prime Minister of Grenada, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, to make his remarks and presentation.
Thank you, Press Secretary. Afy, we need you to come back. On behalf of the government and people of Grenada, my remarks are going to be very brief. I want to congratulate Afy on a 100 T20 match on behalf of Cricket West Indies, on behalf of the people of Grenada, on behalf of her family, her friends, and the village and neighborhoods that she comes from. Afy is a very humble person, and the Bible says, those who humble themselves shall be exalted. And I want to thank Cricket West Indies for giving her the opportunity to represent Grenada, to represent the West Indies, and to have the opportunity to have a 100 match in Grenada. I think it was fated. So there's a saying, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And so we wanted to make sure that today it made sense, and therefore, on behalf of the government and people of Grenada, I'm pleased to present and unveil to Afy this check, which represents $100,000 in celebration of a 100 T20 match. Congratulations, Afy, and may your career continue to inspire all the young boys and girls who are here to witness this event with you. Congratulations once again.
is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
Basta! We run things, things are on we. Basta! Basta! Living color, do it differently. Basta! Basta! Large and in charge, like for the party. Basta! Basta! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste, Basta, bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Basta, live in full color.
Basta!
Need to get your goods to St. Kitts and Nevis? Look no further. TDC Shipping has you covered with reliable cargo solutions by land, air, and sea. Whether it's a package from across the world or a large shipment of goods, TDC Shipping makes it easy, affordable, and stress-free. And with our Airbox service, ordering from your favorite online stores just got even easier. Ship straight to your mailbox and let TDC Shipping handle the rest. Fast, secure, and even to your door. Visit us today at the C.A. Paul Southwell Industrial Park or Penny's Industrial Site, or call 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis. TDC Shipping, where reliable service meets unbeatable convenience. TDC, together we succeed.
Welcome back to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. I am Troy Biff Mills, your host. I'm holding it down for the man Quint, who is on holidays. And we do hope that he's enjoying it and having fun. We just heard from Afy Fletcher, and again we say congratulations to her and the government of Grenada for giving her that award, $100,000 in commemoration, in recognition of her playing 100 T20 internationals for cricket for West Indies. And I'm really hoping that other countries would really go on to do things like these. And she is the sixth West Indian to have played $100 100 T20 internationals or more for the West Indies, females that is. And it's not easy, it's not easy to play 100 of these games. And once ago it would have taken forever because they used to play just a few series here and there in a year, but now they're far and few. We're back. The USA and Cuba, that is something that is making the news, making the rounds. And of course, we know the Russian war with Ukraine. And I heard a news item that said the advisors for the Russian president told him that that war would only last 4 days. And for whatever reason or reasons, they played that clip on the 4th anniversary of the war. So after it should have lasted 4 days, it was lasting 4 years and counting. And the Cuba embargo, that has been going on for 36 years, I think. And obviously, you're going to have people on both sides of the fence. Yes, they agree or they don't. But I found this clip interesting. It is from a Cuban lady living in the U.S. Let us hear what she has to say. And we're going to take your calls after this clip. We're hoping that you, of course, limit your calls and your contributions to this topic, the war, and rather than speaking about everything else. It's, of course, it's just a suggestion. We're hoping that you would direct your calls along these lines. So let us go to this clip.
Well, here at Versailles Restaurant, the famous Cuban spot in Little Havana, some mixed feelings from Cubans about the president's idea.
As President Trump suggests what he calls a friendly takeover of Cuba, calling it a failing nation that needs change, some Cubans in Little Havana wonder if it's actually going to happen.
And I'll believe it when I see it.
Maria can't believe what's going on in her home country. Power blackouts, major gas shortages amid a U.S. blockade.
I can't imagine how come the people haven't revolted also because, how much can you stand?
She supports the president's idea.
I've been here since 1961, and it's always been Cuba, and I wish the U.S. would invade Cuba, would take over, and make it back to the beautiful island that it was.
We have been suffering all our life.
Another Cuban native, also named Maria, doesn't want a United States takeover.
They have to go along.
Yeah, you could just see it on their faces and hear those voices. There's just a lot of emotion about this issue from Cubans. We'll have more reaction coming up at 9 o'clock. For now, live in Little Havana, Byron Tollefson, Local 10.
Okay.
And that was a Cuban living. Did you say she's been there 1961? Hey, that is older than I am. I was born in 63. So that means she's been up there 64 years? 65 years. Sure, that's a long time. The question is, how many times has she gone back? Well, we are opening the lines, and actually we have our first caller live and lively. Let us go to the lines. Oh, we missed that call. My apologies for being a little late. We have another call, so let's take it. Good morning, caller. Thank you for calling into Island Tea. Welcome, you're live.
Yeah, good morning, Biff, man. How you doing today, man?
I'm blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks. What about you, sir?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Thank God for another day.
Definitely.
Any way you can give your contact information out accordingly. Persons who may want to conversate with you off the air or, in your spare time, whatever, because, somebody like me, I may want to speak to somebody like you. I be having a lot of ideas. My mind is focused sharp. On this political affairs in St. Kitts, Nevis, regionally and internationally. As a young boy, I grew up in that politics stuff in Cotton Ground, bro.
Mm-hmm. I'm
seeing what's going on. Go ahead, my bad.
No problem. I don't have an issue at all giving out my number. As a matter of fact, I tell people if somebody call you and ask, how to get in contact with Biff, you can give them without asking me. A lot of people would ask, but hey, give them. I don't have a problem. If you call, I don't like the conversation, you call back, I don't answer. It's simple. That's my thing, eh? And
yeah, that's it.
765-1100, 765-1100. Anyone can call me on that. However, that's the phone where I have WhatsApp. In your case, you're calling from overseas. You may want to use WhatsApp. So my WhatsApp is on 765-1100. My other number, 668-2055. I can make and receive calls. Anybody can call me. However, it does not have on WhatsApp. And indeed, in case you want to call WinFM 98.9, if you're calling from the UK, it's 033-344-0065, 033-344-0065. From the USA of A, 718-285-6984. The US, you call 718-285-6984. In Canada, you call 921-4619, 305-921-4619 for Canada calls. And of course, if you're in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, you call 466-0989. And if you're shy like me, you don't want to go on the air, you can send me a WhatsApp, 765-1100.
Okay, thanks a lot for that.
No problem, sir.
Me personally, man, I'm gonna put it out there. A lot of people they don't really know who I am, but there's a lot of people else that knows who I am as well. Only because I migrated out of Federation in 1985. As I came back on here and got connected with the political affairs in St. Kitts Nevis 2013, thereabout, I'm on the radio talking. But my ideas, my views, not going to be like everybody else's. I'm seeing this stuff from outside, an outside person looking in. A lot of stuff that's going on in St. Kitts and Nevis, I really don't like it, really. And we're going to disagree, but we should not become disagreeable.
I like that.
And let me put in a plug for Cartencia. Cartencia is sitting right next to you every day, and I hope she's listening, right? But Biff, you see Cartencia? I didn't get to meet her when I came into the Federation 2 years ago. But I'm going to tell you, right, something about Cartencia, right? She has a lot of skills, bro. Believe it.
Yes,
One
she
of the
does.
things that I want to put in a plug for her this morning. I don't know if anybody will have highlighted this, but one of these times when they have a cricket game in St. Kitts Nevis, or the next time, if you can, people, Cartencia probably need to get exposed to being a commentator. She probably needs to be exposed as that if she's interested in it. If she's not, well, I can understand. I'll pull
That's
it back.
the point.
But if I know that she can be groomed along that direction because of that cricket interest she has.
That
You
she's
know
a
what I mean?
Guyanese, and that's one of the ministry of the sports in Guyana.
Yeah. Man, as a little boy, Biff, I went to Farmer Grove Park many a times and was back behind the dressing room in the back, peeping through that louvers, them same white louvers, was behind there in the fitting room. Man, I was back there. My interest was so high as a youngster in Cotton Ground. I knew the Livingston Sergeant saga, bro, and I know I was going to prove to the world I could make West Indies when Livingston didn't get that pick. Him, then Derek Parry, and some of those other guys you mentioned, they are my heroes, bro. And one of my quests right now is to see them recognized. Bro, Livingston Sergeant used to lay in his bed, and you know how we used to have that hard ball in that socks, in the roof, tied up in the roof?
Yep.
And the man used to just be stroking that back and forth. Why you think he came so good, man? I mean, and finesse. Ain't nobody had that like Livingston Sergeant, man. When the touring teams came to the West Indies and they beat up on the West Indies, when they come to play the Combined Islands, bro, Livingston will be making centuries, man. Man, if you ain't seen Livingston play right down there in Warner Park, man, when you was a youngster.
Of course, yes, I used to go to Warner Park. My dad used to carry me on a cycle. Those were the days when the spectators used to be lining the boundary. It was like, what, maybe 10 feet of spectators, 4 yards, 5 yards from the boundary backwards. Everybody sitting in the hot sun.
Yeah.
And when you want to get up to use the bathroom, you have to tell people, excuse you, and you walk between them so you turn and groove so you won't walk on them. Those were the days.
That was slightly about before my time. But my older brother, man, he would give me a lot of stories about Livingston, bro. When this man goes in the wicket, if he settled down in there, you're not getting him out. Whatever controversy or whatever reasons why he didn't get the pick, somebody needs to write a book about him. But
Like
in
I
Cotton Village, where he's from in Nevis, Biff, not even a big stone in Cotton Ground is named after this man.
I understand.
That
And like I
can't be
suggested
right.
yesterday, Carla, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
I like the idea, I like the passion, I like the drive, because these are the things that would cause ideas and situations to drop on deaf ears, so to speak. I am, however, thinking that perhaps it's really a better idea, a very good idea, to write to the Premier of Nevis and the Minister of Sport in Nevis, and I don't know, copy to the the president of the Cricket Association, pushing that angle. And that is the official channel in my humble view. I would strongly recommend that.
Good. Let me swing to the political side real quick before somebody is calling. Dr. Drew is over in Ghana right now.
Correct.
I don't know if he's coming back today. I want to really give him some commendation on that trip to Ghana because of the fact that me, myself, I have made an investment in Ghana, bro, and I have a great connection there, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed by him making that trip, and whatever goals he has, I hope he can accomplish some of those goals. And some of it is to try to get some nurses and doctors and other skilled workers back to St. Kitts and Nevis to help out because of the Cuban and American crisis that you just mentioned. And one of the things I'm going to segue off into, as I mentioned that, the Prime Minister now, I know he's talking about bringing that smart hospital, and that's his field. He's a doctor. He went to Cuba to study, right? But because of the geopolitics that's going on right now, he is going to come up against some obstacles. It's good that he's in Ghana right now, but the United States, right, no matter where you go and forge relationships, they're going to tamper with that relationships. They do not want to see us succeed. So Dr. Drew himself, he's going to come up against a lot of problems, obstacles, trying to get that smart hospital come. They're going to have to adjust and adapt. If that's going to be part of his legacy, yeah, I commend him as well. But because of the fact that America is trying to dampen and stop that relationship with Cuba, I see America not only doing that to Cuba, but I've seen them doing that to like them African countries, especially since we've seen the rise of the Sahel Federation over there. Remember, what we got to remember is the big picture is America has an issue with those Sahel states. So any African country that join on to them, that Sahel Federation, they are going to have issues with America as well. You know what I'm saying? And nice to see we had that 50 CARICOM meeting there, and we wait and watch and see where, you know, the outcomes of that meeting, where it's going to take us. But, you know, I wish the people of the Federation good luck going forward, and hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you sometime.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate your call, sir. Good. Thank you for listening, WinFM and 98.9. And of course, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks. Man.
Yeah, no problem, sir. All right. And we do know that there are a lot of listeners to WinFM, and some persons, it's not really their thing to call in, and that is okay. And that is why you can actually send a WhatsApp, and I'll read your information for you. Let us go back to the lines and say good morning, caller. You're live on Island here at WinFM 98.9. Welcome.
Grand Rising, Troy.
Morning, sir.
Let me big up Burl on that statement he made. Troy, you know, respectfully, I don't want to say you might be stifling the call this morning with your topics, but I think you should keep an open mind that there's a lot to be discussed.
Correct.
And you're in your area of interest, and so are others, and we should try to respect each other. Yes?
Most correct. I agree with you 100%. But might I say, sir, please? I believe there are different opportunities for different topics, etc. Voices, for example, most times the voices are open to any and everything. But when you wake, I'm thinking, and this is just my view, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to hear it. Some persons may not be too au fait with what is happening regionally, maybe even on the national, international scene, apart from the political element and the religion and the whatever the case is. I played the clip with Afy Fletcher. How many persons are aware of that? I'm into sports, so I know that. I didn't know initially that the government of Grenada gave her $100,000. I didn't know that. So I'm thinking, well, how many people know that? The clip I played from Cuba.
There might be a lot of people knowing that, Troy, you know, because, like you say, you're into sports, and so are others. I mean, we know what area of sports are of interest to each individual. But, Troy, let me say this quickly on the backdrop of what Burl just said. America and Europe have an issue with African globally uniting. You see, Africa is waking up, Troy. And this is why Journey keeps saying that we have to be knowledgeable. We have to pay attention. Yes, they are the masses of us who are, as I said before, going along to get along. Burl is in the U.S. and so are other Africans globally. But the thing is, right, this is why we love to say that I have been, I have been to Europe, I've been to America. Do I want to go back there? No. But where is the gateway for us to connect back to our continent? The Prime Minister, as Burl said, is now in Ghana. Had we had a gateway to connect to the continent, Troy, we can invest in the continent. We don't have to go there to live there. I mean, look at Americans, and they're investing in real estate outside of America, in St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean. Why can't we do the same there?
But may should call and saying, isn't that the reason why the Prime Minister is in Africa, to create that linkage, that pathway to, and you realize he's now in Ghana. He has been to Nigeria before. So he's trying to develop relationships with the African nations to actually create that, not only for St. Kitts and Nevis, for CARICOM, because he's the chief of CARICOM. Obviously, I believe his primary goal would be for St. Kitts and Nevis. However, he's there in his capacity as well as the chairman of CARICOM.
Troy, since I became aware and I start hearing my voice on Voices Freedom and on social media, I've been lamenting that we need to unite. We were divided by design, and our division have worked for those who have divided us. Let me repeat this. We being divided has worked for those who have divided us. Well, Troy, I mean, I am a young man. What I'm learning now, Troy, I didn't learn it in school. You want to tell me former prime ministers of St. Kitts Nevis and the Caribbean, were they not paying attention to what was taking place? And that goes for our presidents on the continent of Africa. You look at men like Bola Tinubu, William Ruto, Museveni. I mean, these are men who are sacrificing their own people. And not even, I'm sure they recognize that they're in doing such things, they're pleasing the oppressor. I mean, you know, from history, from global events, Africans are fleeing Africa. They're perishing in the Mediterranean. They're perishing in the Arab country. So here we have Africans talking about what is going on in Palestine with Benjamin Netanyahu, a war that was orchestrated to distract ourselves from the future. And now we have, it is, let me say, alleged, and I know I can speak boldly, but let me use the word alleged. The UAE is supplying these Arabs to slaughter, genocide, Sudanese that look like me and you, and the world is silent on it. But here we are talking about what's going on in Palestine, and these people don't even know about us. And at the same time, Troy, there's a community of black Africans in Iran.
I give you 50 more seconds, Carl. I have to go to some ads
that
just
have
now.
been enslaved, Troy. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, I'm going to finish now, but let us hope the Prime Minister, let us support our Prime Minister. But you see, Troy,
5 seconds, please.
Of going along to get along has passed. And that's why Journey is saying our unity and knowledge of self is going to cripple their misery.
Okay,
Thank you for hearing me.
Thanks a lot, sir. Oops, I missed another call was coming in. And thank you very much, Johnny. You mentioned, yes, the caller is back. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Can I ask you to hold while I go to some and pay some bills, if you don't mind, sir?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that. You're listening to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. It's now 9 o'clock. Boy, time flies when you're really having fun. And we are going to go downtown and pay some bills. And we are going to be back in a few. Please stick and stay. Don't go away.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
This is not a drill. Liat Air's 30-day advance sale is live right now. We're talking prices so low, you'll think we made a mistake. Spoiler alert, we did it. Say hello Barbados, hello St. Lucia, hello Antigua. Book 30 days ahead for ridiculously low fares across our Caribbean network. But hurry, seats are filling up like last roti at lunch fast. Visit www.flyliatair.com or call 1268-713-5428 today. Liat Air, pride of the Caribbean.
Heritage matters to me. Heritage matters to you. Join me, Percival Hanley, this coming Friday and every other Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon for Heritage Matters on Win Media SKN 98.9. Heritage matters to me. Heritage matters to you.
¿Listo para jugar pale, quiniela y tripleta? Con el juego Caribbean Numbers puedes convertir tus números favoritos en grandes premios en efectivo, hasta $20,000. Por tan solo $1, elige tus números y juega a tu manera. Quiniela, pale o tripleta, el que tú prefieras. Acierta los números ganadores y gana efectivo. Es divertido y tan fácil como 1, 2, 3. Tus números a tu manera. Es tu momento. Siente la emoción en cada jugada. Disponible en cualquier agente del Caribbean Lottery en toda la isla. Debes tener 21 años o más para jugar. Por favor, juega responsablemente.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Welcome back to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. I am Troy Biff Mills, your host. Just reminding you, in case you're just joining us for the first time, that the quintessential one, Quint, or Q as he's affectionately called, he is on some well-deserved R&R, rest and relaxation, some holidays, vacation, whatever you want to call it, and he is rejuvenating to come back stronger than ever, according to Ellie Matt. So, in case you're hearing a different voice, a strange voice, you've tuned into the right frequency, WinFM 98.9. Before we get into the caller that we have online holding, and I thank you very much for your patience, sir, please allow me to read this notice from National Caribbean Insurance. It's captioned Early Closure. The general public is asked to note that National Caribbean Insurance will close at 1 p.m. on Thursday, 5th March 2026. In case you're wondering when is Thursday, 5th March, of course, it is today. Some persons, lose track thinking today is the 4th or the 3rd or the 6th, but they'll be closed today. National Caribbean Insurance would like to apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. During this closure, customers are encouraged to use their website at www.ncicltd.com to pay premiums, submit health claim forms, request quotes, or for any other general inquiries. Regular office hours will resume at 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, March 6th at 2026, and obviously that's tomorrow. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And again, this is a notice from National Caribbean Insurance. So you have a matter of 2 hours and 52 seconds, 52 minutes and some seconds to go and sort out anything on, or else you'll have to wait until tomorrow. And of course, you do it online. And we have a caller online we are going to be going to. And just a reminder, we are encouraging you. And is it safe to say I'm trying something a little different, a little strange? We played some clips this morning, and we're hoping that the calls are centered around it. Notwithstanding that, you have different things that are on your chest. Perhaps I'm wondering if Island Tea isn't a little different from, say, Voices, targeting different topics, per se, topics when you wake up in the morning, you're going to work. You may not have had a chance to listen to the news, so you're wondering, hey, what is happening? What is the latest? I know there's the war in Iran. Any new development? And yes, there's a new development. A playing field was bombed. And this is not because I'm into sports. I like sports. I mean, you're going to bomb a playing field? It so happened that nobody was there, according to the article I've seen. But let us go to the caller and say, caller, thank you for holding. Welcome back. You're live and lively.
Good morning again. A plane field was bombed in where?
That's in Iran, Tehran.
Okay. And this is coming after, what was it, a school or something like that?
Yeah, police station.
Well, I guess they may call that collateral damage. That's the thing with war.
Could it be targeted, directed?
What would be the point? To do what?
If I'm fighting you, I'm at what you, I'm going to try to hit you 8 hurts.
A playing field and a school.
I mean, I don't know. There stranger things have happened.
I suspect it was by accident. I don't think it was deliberate. But it just goes to show you don't hear no outrage about that. I'm actually surprised about the fact that so many Caribbean leaders now seem to be. It's not just Kamla. It's even Motley and Gaston Brown has been commenting on what's happening in Iran. I didn't hear them come out and at the beginning and say anything about the initial attack, because I don't think preemption is part of the UN Charter. But anyway, I say all that to say, well, first of all, your first clip that you played had some very quotable quotes, one of them being, no boundaries too far. I thought
like
that was
that.
really neat. Yeah.
I really like that part.
Yeah. And I also like, which was, if you don't make dollars, you don't make sense.
Yes, exactly. I like that too. And you saw the Prime Minister building up to say, hey, we're going to give you quite a few 100,000 cents.
And you heard the reaction of the crowd. They were all in favor. They consider that money well spent, because it's such a big encouragement to those who are going to follow. Yeah, but with regards, I don't know if you've ever heard of the term "a bridge too far."
I've heard of it. Yes.
It's not just physically. It also means that if you hang your hat too high, you can't reach it. If you have goals that are unattainable, you're in trouble. Okay?
And perhaps reasonable goals as well.
Well, the point is your goals should be reasonable.
Should be.
Yes, exactly. Okay? And I say that in reference to what I just talked about with the Caribbean leaders making pronouncements on the war in the Middle East. We got our own fish to fry down here, trust me. Okay? And we should be concentrating on that more than anything else. I know, I understand the attempt to appease the U.S., but I don't think they have to go that far to do that. Even in the case of Africa, the approach to Africa, there is this school of thought that even that is a bridge too far right now. Emphasis right now, in the sense that yes, we have an emotional attachment to the continent, right? And so yes, we would, be easily persuaded that, we should be going there and trying to forge links, etc., etc. But the reality is, just like we have our own fish to fry in this part of the region, Africa has its own fish to fry in that part of the region. They are struggling to unite as well, because they know, just like in our region, we can be picked off one by one, they can be picked off one by one. And in the grand scheme of things, if there is not a symbiotic relationship, that is a case where Africa is wanting, it has the equal passion in wanting to forge links with us, then, like I said, it makes no sense right now. If the Africans, if the people in the African countries can't replace our tourism, the investment into our country, and so on, then again, reality, forgetting the emotion now, the reality is they can't save us. Okay? It's a bitter pill to swallow, but that is just the reality. Okay? Because you see, you got to look at the whole you could look at this in the global context, where the U.S., I think, has identified China as the main threat.
Correct.
And you notice they seem lukewarm to Russia. I think there's strategy in that. I think that the final intent or the long-term goal is to essentially encircle China. Because if you have the whole of North America, Russia included, who's antagonistic or, well, not supporting China, if you have the Middle East, okay, not doing the same thing, if you have the countries in the Pacific, again, being anti-China, then that threat is at least, it's contained, right? And Africa, I think, would play a part in the sense that well, one, of course, the natural resources, and that would also complete the encirclement of the contained in China, right? I think that there's a school of thought, which, I think that it's the final intent. So one well asks, after Iran, who next? Who's next? Yes, I think they want to go after Cuba to complete the Western Hemispheric dominance. Okay, but I think Africa, you'd find that Africa is going to play a huge part in the geopolitics of the future. And you can bet your life that if I don't think they're going to look kindly to any linkage of us with Africa, because we are in the Western Hemisphere, their hemisphere, and they'll be very cautious of anybody coming in, right, to interfere with that. Okay? And so I think that, like I said, we should concentrate on unity among us in the region first, right? No point doing this thing one by one by one. That's pointless, right? We don't have no big industrial anything to export to Africa, right? And like I said, don't seem inclined. There's no mass, there's no big impetus for African tourists to come here, right?
Perhaps the expense. The cost of a ticket from Africa is going to be what? To the Caribbean, $6,000-$8,000?
Well, it's not just expense, I don't think. I think it goes beyond that. Like I said, they have bigger fish to fry, right? Look how many, it's over 50 African countries. They have so many alternatives to going west, okay?
If you permit me to comment, caller, you mentioned something which is key. There's the adage, you have to dance a yard before you dance abroad.
Yes.
And before we could think about in uniting Africa, we have to think about uniting the Caribbean. But before we think about the uniting in the Caribbean, shouldn't we be thinking about uniting our people here in St. Kitts and Nevis? How united do you think we are in St. Kitts and Nevis? So
that's
should
an
we
even bigger point, right?
So should we start in that small circle and then you branch out a little bigger to the CARICOM?
Exactly.
As opposed to say, hey, let us unite with Africa. And
right.
when they themselves, like you rightly say, caller, they're not really going down that line. Ibrahim Toure, that's something he's been trying to organize. And
right. You see where he started, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Right in his little region there.
Yes.
Right? And to me, that's a better strategy than what seemed to be happening now, where leaders just trot off to Africa, do some photo ops, and come back. And that's not. I don't think that's gonna do it. To be quite honest, to be quite frank, I think it makes more sense to try to unite. Firstly, you said at home, in more unified in terms of what we're about at home. Then we gradually spread that, and similarly in the other countries in the region, okay? Our political systems kind of mitigate against that, so maybe we need to have a hard look at our political systems. And when I say that, I certainly don't mean dictatorship. I don't believe
I understand that.
Right? Okay, but there are things that we can do to make the conversation, policy making, and so on more civil and better for everybody. And we're not doing that. And make our governance better. And we're not doing that. There's also... Right,
15 more seconds, caller, please, if you don't mind.
Sure. There's also, apart from the region, okay, in South America, right? They're at least in the hemisphere. And so we should be also, this Brazil, a big country, we should be trying to forge links. To me, it's easier to forge those links than even with Africa. Like I said, I'm just taking the emotion out of it.
Smaller circles first before you expand to bigger circles.
Yes, I'm thinking that. And similarly with Cuba, again, Kamala had a point in the sense of there should be more democratic and so
5
on.
seconds, please, caller.
Right, and we should promote that. But certainly, I'm thinking region first before we go.
Dance a yard before you dance abroad. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you for your views. Let's go and take this other caller. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. Welcome.
Yes, good morning. Yo, Biff, good morning again, man.
Morning, sir, again.
Yeah, I want to say something, man. To those persons that normally call in on the Island T, not because Biff is here. That doesn't say you can't call in and make your contributions. I guarantee you Biff is not going to bite anyone.
No, of course not. We're here to serve you.
Exactly. With that said, Mark Mahan was on with you just now. A lot of what he says, I'm admiring him in a way, man. He's the real teacher, bro. And, you being a sports guy, let me go back to Mark Mahan quickly. At the top of the year, when the U.S. went into Venezuela, he made a comment, the world has changed. He was definitely right with that. But guess what? The world done being changed. But he made that comment not knowing that USA would go into Iran.
Yeah.
So he was definitely on the right track. He set the tone at the top of this year when he made that comment. Now we see America has gone into Iran. And in the United States here, not for 1 minute, don't think that we don't have internal wranglings here. There's a lot of internal wranglings here about this war. First of all, it wasn't approved by Congress. So this is like an illegal venture.
So what are going to be ramifications of that? If the process wasn't observed, is it okay? Is it just going to go like that?
What happened? They're trying to go into Congress and the House now. The war powers, they're trying to go and vote on the war powers now, which they should already done did before. What happened is the Republicans, they're very hesitant when it comes to Trump. They're letting Trump do all manner of illegal stuff. So now they're trying to go in the House to get that War Powers Act to limit him when they should have did that before. So we're gonna have to just watch that play out and see whether if they table that vote, if they put that on the floor at all, because I think they may have to vote also to bring it to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Would you consider that closing the gate after the horse has bolted?
Yes, of course.
And I heard a comment from the president that they are going to, and I'm paraphrasing basically, they are going to install a government of sorts in Cuba. That the U.S. will install a government of sorts in Cuba. I don't know if you've heard. I don't know if you've heard that, and if so, what is your thought on that?
That's illegal too. I would say, right, me personally, things in Cuba is going to change. It's not going to stay like this forever. Whether America intercedes or not, is going to change. So we have to get ready for that. And somebody said, if Cuba's gates are to be opened up, it's going to be a flood of influx of tourists there. Us in St. Kitts, Nevis is close by. We have to be following these type of stuff because it's futuristic. You got to be looking down the road. But real quickly, man, being that you're a sports guy, we know the World Cup soccer is coming to the USA this summer, right? And
yes, sir.
It's a boycott that's brewing right now because of all the immigration policies of the United States. And then now that we saw they went into Iran, the Iran team has qualified for the World Cup.
Correct.
Definitely, this is going to affect them. But the boycott that's brewing, persons are already canceling their tickets. Now, with the fact that America gone into Iran, this boycott can possibly spread. So this stuff, it can create a serious backlash on the World Cup games here, which can affect these mega companies in the pockets. We've seen the likes of like Coca-Cola and these big companies that like to advertise when they have the Super Bowl here. Those companies' pockets could be affected if that boycott is to take hold. But anyway, I want to introduce you to something real quick, and then I'll probably get
Yes,
off.
5 seconds. 5 seconds, please. We have to go through some ads.
Inside the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, there's a legislation there that's blocking persons who have dual citizenship, a foreign passport, from putting their names on the ballots. I would think the powers maybe need to revisit that. I personally believe that that stuff needs to be removed. Because, Biff, you have a wicket keeper on your cricket team, right? Just as well as you can recruit a wicket keeper, I can recruit a wicket keeper as well. So that legislation is not serving no purpose, really. We are just following the rest of the Eastern Caribbean with that legislation. We need to get that legislation removed. And I'll talk to you sometime off the air.
Okay, Carl, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And we're going to go to we're going to go to an ad, but before we do that, I did mention about the bombing of a sports stadium. It is captioned Tehran Sports Stadium among places attacked today. And this is an article on the Al Jazeera site today, Thursday the 5th. And it reads, Tehran woke up this morning to huge blasts across the city, particularly at police stations and some government facilities. A 12,000-seat sports stadium was also hit. It was empty, understandably, but nobody knows what the target behind or under that stadium was. It has been severely damaged. That's the end of the release. And there's always going to be the argument that perhaps terrorists or whoever would be using under these facilities as a base. And how much truth is in that, of course, I won't be able to tell. But this is something you've heard. You've heard it in Gaza, bombing hospitals, etc. And so, well, in the basement, that is where the headquarters were for the various entities. How true that was, of course, I don't know. But 12,000-seater, that's a little bigger than Warner Park. Warner Park, I think we held, we accommodated, was it 4,000 persons when we had the World Cup here, and stands had to be brought in to facilitate that, these silver medal stands. So could you imagine that size? And something like this is going to cost how many millions to build? And that's the thing about war. And I really like Sandra out of Trinidad and Tobago, singing Sandra, or Queen Sandra, her song, Nobody wins the war. And I'm seriously concerned about these wars, especially look at Ukraine. When you have the cultural spaces, cultural property destroyed, and these going to be cultural things going back to maybe 1500 and something, 14, maybe even 1300 and something in their museums, in the spaces. When they are destroyed, yes, you might be able to build back, but do you feel that connection? Are you going to be building it back to the standards? Could you just try to imagine Independence Square, which has some good history behind it, that is bombed. And again, this is an example, folks. I'm trying to create an image here. Could you imagine that is bombed? Its current state is bombed. And to rebuild it is going to cost how many millions of dollars? But would it have that same feeling, that worth? That is something for you to play on your mind, play with your mind. Let us go downtown, pay some bills, and we are going to be back. We're asking you to stick and stay. Don't, please, don't go away. We are going to be back in a few.
You ever hear earthquake call and say, hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Welcome back to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. I am Troy Biff Mills, your host. And in case you're joining us for the first time, you may not be aware, Quintessential One Quint, he is on holidays, so I am holding it down for him until he comes back out. And before we get into the caller we have online, just to notice again, a reminder from National Caribbean Insurance, captioned early closure. The general public is asked to note that National Caribbean Insurance will close at 1 p.m. on Thursday, 5th March. That is today. National Caribbean Insurance would like to apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. During this closure, customers are encouraged to use their website at www.ncicltd.com to pay premiums, submit health claim forms, request quotes, or for any other general inquiries. Regular office hours will resume at 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, March 6th, 2026. That's tomorrow, of course. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And this notice comes from National Caribbean Insurance. They will be closing at 1 p.m. this afternoon. So I make that at 1 hour, 25 minutes and about 16 seconds. So you can go there or you can use the services they are provided online. And we have a caller online. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Inside the News. You're live? Hello? Oh, we seem to have lost that caller. And 466-0989, that is the number to call, 466-0989. And, of course, in case you're shy, like I always say, like me, and you want to WhatsApp me, you can do that, 765-1100. If you're overseas and you want to share your view, and I have to shut up and go to the line and welcome this caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Island Tea. You're live and lively.
Yes, good morning, Biff.
Morning,
good
sir.
Morning.
And how are you today?
Bless in Jesus' name, and greetings once more in the name of Jesus Christ, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, by the gospel only, true faith only, according to the Bible only.
Okay.
And Jesus Christ, the second person of the Trinity.
Have you been following the World Cup cricket, the ICC T20?
Well, I'm not really a fan of cricket, so no, I'm not a fan of cricket.
Okay, any sports, may I ask any sports you might be interested in? Football, basketball, track and field?
Track and field. Yeah, track and field, to other degree, boxing, but more interestingly, track and field. And to me, with all due respect, I find the female track and field more interesting than the male ones.
Oh, why do you think so?
I find that with the female ones, the competition is stiffer and tougher than with the male one. To me, the male one is more predictable than the female ones.
That's it.
And to me, the less predictable they are, the more exciting they get. For example, you know when Bolt was in it, you predict, okay, yeah, Bolt going to win. But when it comes to the female, yes, you might got some prediction, but you got more upsets than in the male one.
I understand that.
So those are really what and I cheer a lot Sydney McLaughlin, Lavone, but not she, but others as well, others as well. So yes, so those are really my sports alley.
Okay, before you go into your presentation, the second semi-final, for those who are listening and wondering, the second semi-final, that match just started between India and England. England won the toss and they asked India to bat. After 4 balls, the match started at 9:30. India are 10 without loss. So they're playing. The winner obviously goes into the final. New Zealand, they are the awaiting. New Zealand, they won by 9 wickets. They defeated South Africa. South Africa was 169 for 8 in 20 overs. New Zealand, they made mockery. 173 for 1 in 12.5 overs. And the opener setting a record by the quickest century in T20 World Cup. Well, T20 period, 33 balls. But anyway, Greg, sorry to intrude on your time. I just wanted to share that with you.
It's your show, not mine. It is your show.
Well, no, it's your show, the caller's show. I have the privilege of being the facilitator, but it's really the callers, whether you're local, home, or abroad, it's your show.
Okay. What I was asking is that whatever your judgment is okay. Is it possible that I could address the issue from yesterday?
Which is?
With the interview that you had with the ladies.
Okay, sure, no problem about the International Women's Day and for those who may not be aware, International Women's Day is Sunday the 8th of March, Sunday coming, and the St. Kitts and Nevis Olympic Committee, they always have an event to commemorate it. They've been recognizing females and in sports, and this Saturday coming, they are going to be having a workshop, and they invited all the national associations, and I have the privilege of being the president of the St. Kitts and the Nevis Table Tennis Association, and also a member of an executive member of the SKNOC. So they're going to be having a workshop from about 9 to 12 to help to build capacity with the executive females. So I just thought to mention that. So in advance, ladies, and to Lorraine here to NFM, and to Jacinta, I hope she don't sue me. Jacinta, oh, I'm being scolded. Jacinta, not Jacinta. Jacinta sounds like a nice name. Doesn't mean that Jacinta doesn't. But Jacinta and all the ladies in the janitorial services at WinFM 98.9. Happy International Women's Day in advance. So yes, Greg, you're up. Fire.
Yes. What I would like to say, but very quickly, I would like to say, concerning another issue yesterday, but I'm going to just leave the main one, but this is very quick. Where the Bible is concerned, women were allowed to choose the husband as well. They could reject or accept a man. So no marriage was really forced on a woman once things were done, the Bible were in the Bible. including the stick issue with a woman getting raped and so. She still had the choice as to whether to accept she rapist or not. Just want to make that issue quick. Get that out the way. To say the second issue concerning yesterday issues with the gender thing, okay? Now, both ladies end off yesterday by saying, whatever a person said that they are, be it a man or a woman, irrespective of the genitalia, they're supposed to be accepted for what they say. If a person have a male genitalia and the person said that they are a person, that they are a woman or a man, well, okay, let us say that what we would normally consider to be a biological man, if he was to say that he is a woman, we should accept him as a woman, and vice versa with women. That is what they end off by saying yesterday. And I started to say that, hey, that's only going to bring more and more anger and wrath of God upon us as a people. And even in the practical sense, it is very deadly, even in just the practical sense. Because why? If you're saying that a person is what they say that they are, that means a professional, what we would consider to be a professional male boxer, if he's like Tyson or whoever, and if that person says, well, they feel like a woman, so they want to go in the female boxing, you're putting real women at risk of being severely injured, if not being killed. You know, because you could imagine somebody like Mike Tyson say, oh, they feel like a woman, they believe that they're a woman, and they want to go in the female boxing sport. You plan to kill women, real women. You know, or in running, we see now, we have some fellows in some track events who are really fellows who said that they identify themselves as women and enter into women's sports and have been beating up the ladies, like in boxing, running, and that sort of stuff, and winning the scholarships. Hello? You're saying?
Even weightlifting, when I can't remember the exact figure, so I'm going to give an example. The weightlifting record for a female might have been, say, 250 pounds. And here comes a man saying, well, I'm now a woman, and all of a sudden carrying it up to 400 pounds because men are scientifically and generally stronger than the females. And I referred to yesterday with the boxer, the female boxer. In the first round, after like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, she got a blow from this other boxer who was a transgender. And that was the end of the fight. She said, that's the hardest box I ever gave in my life. And she was count out for a couple of days. And, but then there, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm subject to correction, Greg, isn't there something that says if you wake up today and you feel like you're a dog, you're a dog?
Well, that would have to be the logic.
And so who am I if you, Greg, telling me, boy, Biff, I am a dog now, woof, 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 or whatever, who am I to say, no, Greg, you're not?
Exactly.
You're a human being.
If I want to follow your life. And do you know, actually in real life, there are people who are saying that they're dogs and cats and so?
That's why I brought up the
example. Do you know that there are such people?
Yes, I forget the name they call them, but...
It's in Forays, I think it's Forays they call them.
So if I feel like I'm a cheer, if I tell you, bye, Greg, I'm a cheer today, I feel like being a cheer, so I'm a cheer. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but it got to make sense to somebody out there.
That would have to be the logic. But so even on just a practical level, that is very deadly, very stupid. But I believe, listen to me, I believe you have to go college and universities to accept some things, because you have to be trained to accept certain things because they are so stupid and they are so foolish that a normal person wouldn't accept them. You have to get special training to college and so for a amount of years in order for you to accept these things. Yeah. To dumb down your mind enough to accept these things, because a normal person will not accept these foolishness.
But should we not, Greg, in life, just respect somebody, male or female, for whatever they believe, whatever they think? We may not agree, but shouldn't we respect that person? That is your view. And, well, there's the adage, we have to agree to disagree, or whatever the case is. But whatever you're thinking, if it's the furthest thing from the truth and it's not based on facts and probability and possibility and all of those, but you've come up with this bright idea. Am I to just walk away and say, "Bye, Greg, you're full of this, give some choice words," or whatever the case is?
You see, like I said, reality is not optional. Reality is not optional.
And for you, sorry, Greg, sorry to intrude. You mean reality is not optional for you?
For all of us, reality is not optional for all of us because there's no way it could be fair to put a big, strong, strapped man in women's sports to box down women and even kill them or injure them very severely.
I agree.
That is acceptable.
But isn't that according to your thinking, Greg? Because I'm going to go up your alley and we have to go to a break in 30 seconds. But Satan has followers.
Satan has followers.
Yes, so you and I might think that, hey, there's a God and we have to live for him and all those things, but there are those who believe that, well, no, there isn't any God, As a matter of fact, Satan is the God. I don't know. So no matter in life, are you going to have one set of people always thinking the same way? Aren't you not going to have people thinking differently? And if you have the situation where everybody thinks alike, thinks the same thing, agrees to the same thing, how does that put the world?
Well, if everybody thinking alike, biblically, then that is prosperity for the world. But when we reject the Bible, we end up in all kind of confusion, self-contradiction, destruction, ruin, until it reaches death, whenever we reject the Bible. But if everybody's thinking correctly, thinking biblically, that is prosperity we're going to bring on us and God's blessing we're going to bring on us. Imagine this. Just imagine this again, to talk even about this same subject, to show you how we end up in confusion when we reject the Bible.
5 seconds, Greg, please.
Yes. Would you accept you having a little daughter going in a restroom and a big strapped man going in behind her because he said he's a woman? No sensible man parent gonna accept that. When we reject the Bible, we end up in confusion, destruction, and death. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Greg. I appreciate it. And whether we like it or not, Greg believes in what he believes in, very self-opinionated, very strong opinions. And again, we don't necessarily have to agree with him, but they are his opinions and we have to respect it. Other people, you might think your opinion, hey, boy, it's sensible and all of that, but other people might think it is garbage. And that applies to me as well. I might have an opinion about something and think it is the best thing since sliced bread. However, somebody's seen it as garbage. We are going to take this call, and I'm going to give this caller about 5 seconds before we go to the break. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Island Tea. I took you before going to the break, but we have to go to a break. So could you please be extremely brief?
Okay. Peace to you all. I just called to say, as someone who into politics, my name is Lincoln David Pell. I support anything to do with sport and our sports persons to be recognized. I think we have enough sports persons here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis who have done wonderful things for our nation. And I think it's about time. I think for this level, we could have some sports person named Sir this and Sir that. And I think this is at the feet of the Governor General's office. The persons who can allow persons to be recognized as such. Just like how Antigua have a lot of their cricket great as Sir this and Sir that. I think we have Keith Atherton and all these guys who would have done excellent for our nation. Even Kim Collins. Let us start to recognize them as our sport heroes and give them the title of Sir this and Sir that. Because I think they deserve it. Because if we have to look back, I think they would have done a lot more to our nation to be recognized globally than even some of our politicians. Not because I'm into politics now, but I am saying I'm also a sport person. You should know that.
Yes, I know you're into, is it taekwondo?
Yes, sir. And also volleyball. I played volleyball for SKN.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Cricket. I was into cricket. I was into football. I was into athletics. I have record in high jump, triple jump, long jump, 100 meters, gold medal. I have on all these things. But back then, Sport wasn't as pure as how it is today.
But
And this is football.
I saying, and we've had a caller a few calls back who has been advocating for the division, Livingston, Lawrence, etc., to be recognized in Nevis. So I think he'll be glad to hear that. And I am remembering that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, when Mikael Louis, he was the first Kittitian and division to play for West Indies, the announcement about naming Warner Park or stands or something to him in his honor, and that was sometime last year. And you mentioned Kim Collins from the sports. There's also El Comido Willett. There's been an argument to make him a national hero, and we have 5 national heroes here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And for good or for bad, justifiably so or not, all 5 are politicians. So, but there's a process as well. Have you ever recommended, nominated any of these persons to be knighted?
Well, that is what I'm doing publicly, and therefore I'm trying to get the support. Because, believe it or not, we are still a part of the British crown, not the British nation, the British crown. The crown is our head. That's the only thing we have with the Britain. And therefore, if we can get our highest honor from our head of state via our local representative, which is the Governor General, and I would like to say our local royalty, because according to the Constitution, that person have all the rights and privileges and everything as the king. So that's the only how anybody from St. Kitts needs to come close to royalty. So if they have all the privilege and rights and so forth, then there is our local royalty, right? Because that's what the thing say, right? All the privileges and rights and so forth. And therefore, I would want our sports persons, just like persons in politics, to get that highest. Yes, we have our national hero. Some person might have otherwise, but I think it's about time that we call Sir, knighted this, even Dame, because I think we have some females in sports who have done great things as well. So I am one of the persons who my entire lifespan, if you want to call it that way, have involved in sports. And I represented my country at high levels, and therefore I would have done great things. And I always push for our person in sport to continue being in sport, because sports now is a career. In my day, we didn't have the opportunity what the idea is now. You should know that. And therefore, I am pushing sports for our persons, and our nation could recognize that sport is a career, and they could take us around the world and make us, our people, wealthy, start to generate generational wealth for their families. And therefore, I want persons in our nation. I am a federal candidate, because all the candidates in St. Kitts are federal candidates. Not all the candidates in Nevis are federal, because they have local and federal. But fortunately for me, unfortunately, I am representing the entire nation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And therefore, I am calling for every sport person in St. Kitts and Nevis who have put St. Kitts and Nevis on the map to at least have a royal recognition. Yes, I want a St. Kitts recognition where we have the Medal of Honor and all these things. But since we have
5 seconds, caller.
Our thing, I will recommend for all those sports persons. Let the persons in the sports realm and the sport organization start to have our person, our Kim Collins, our El Comito Guido, Willett, and my good friend Keith Atherton and these guys. And we have other persons in track and field as well. Let them get the recognition, because in the first instance, even before some persons hear about anything about St. Kitts Nevis, or those sport persons taking our nation
3 seconds, please.
global. So thank you very much. God bless St. Kitts Nevis. God bless constituency number 7. And peace to all. God continue to bless all of us. God bless.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for calling. We appreciate that. And wow, hey, it's about time we got to close up shop. But before we do that, we have to go and actually pay some bills. We have to pick up the corporate community, the corporate partners that make it possible for us to have this show. So stick and stay. Don't go away. We'll be back for the wrap up in a bit.
Calling night, noon, and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it. Tea time, calling night, noon, and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it.
You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. Anytime, whatever time. It's tea time. Whatever time. It's tea time. Snack on a delicious tea time biscuit anytime. It's tea time.
From February 1st to February 28th, the TDC Home and Building Depots are offering 3 products for its 2 products of the month promotion. Yes, we know, it's unbeatable. Also on sale with the Canon Pixma 2110 Megatank printer with USB printing capabilities, soft touch button commands, and multi-page printing per minute. Originally priced at $1,240, now $930. Save $310. Available at the TDC Home and Building Depots on the Frigate Bay Road in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Estate in Nevis.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On the Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WinFM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Biff Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Biff Mills on WinFM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm actually welcoming you back to say goodbye. That's interesting. But let us squeeze in this caller before we slip away. And I'm going to give this caller 21 seconds. I guess the caller doesn't want any. My apologies, caller. And if you care to, you can call back. By the time you might be able to squeeze in 17 seconds. Oh, yes, the caller is back. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. You have 17 seconds.
Just to make an announcement, Troy.
Yes, sir.
It's so timely that my seconds, I'm going to utilize them with a smile and with humility. I just want to make an announcement that normally I sit in on your radio program station on the second Wednesday of the month. And so I just want to put a plug in for, I am inviting Greg for the second time in the studio with me. And so I don't know if you would facilitate that sit-in.
Of course.
That is my slot. That's my slot.
I'm holding it down for Q until, 4 days have gone. And he'll be having another 2 weeks and a day. So the second is next week.
From next week, Wednesday, about the 9th, I'll be gracing the studio with myself and Greg from 10 to 12 o'clock.
Okay, caller, thanks for telling us. And you used actually 16 seconds. I said 17.
Yeah, all right.
All right, thanks for listening to WinFM 98.9. Thanks for calling in. And be safe. And wow, time flies when you're having fun. Could you believe that, boy? I came in here and I'm thinking, boy, would I have enough content to last me 2 hours? And poof, just like that, poof, time flies. It's now 20 seconds before end time. So I found it funny. I said, I'm welcoming you back to tell you goodbye. That's poetry in motion. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure of mine to be with you again here on Voices Island Tea. And I've been doing it alone yesterday and today. And we've made it through. Thank you for listening. And to those persons who called in, I thank you really. The show is all about you. It's not about me. It's not about WinFM per se in my view. It's about you giving you a chance to share your view. And I invite you to tune in again tomorrow, God's Spear, for another edition. And we are going to be having Cortensia in the house tomorrow. So stick and stay. But before I go, apart from the traffic, please be patient. Otherwise, you'll become a patient. Please don't take die out of drive. Drive, D-R-I-V-E, die, D-I-E. Please don't extract the die from drive. And always be positive in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. And thank you for listening. And please do continue listening to WinFM 98.9.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
You ever ever hear earthquake call and say, hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
You ever hear earthquake call and say, hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No.
Found the sound, 98.9 WinFM.
The girl them skill arty. Shonda Paul, some give it to, some give it to, some give it to our girls. 5 million and 40 naughty shorty. Baby girl, all my girls, all my girls. Shonda Paul say, well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh. Because the girl them broke out on the floor. From you don't wanna work as performer. From you don't wanna